Oh, wow. So I'm Oliver, and I want to get you excited about TangaReef. TangaReef is a website where scuba divers make bookings with dive centers around the world. And we get 20 to 30% commission of every booking made. TangaReef is a bit like hotels.com, where you look up hotels, compare prices, read reviews, and then you just book, pay, and go. And this is not how it works with diving today. And that's just insane, because dive travel is a multi-billion euro business. For example, the dive bookings alone, there's over 10,000 dive centers in this world. Let's assume 5,000 of them are interesting for us. At 20 customers per day on average, that's about a dive boat full, paying 50 euros a day, assuming an average dive season of 200 days, that's €1 billion. On top of that, people need flights to get there, they need accommodation, and they sure love spending on that scuba gear. And the Chinese divers, they're just getting started, dipping their toes into the water right now. But these dive centers are run mostly by lifestyle entrepreneurs. These guys know nothing about using the internet. They suck at it. Their websites are Web 0.9, reservations are going email forth and back, and at the end, don't be surprised if they ask you to fax your credit card information. It's nuts. Okay. Is the clicker working? Okay. So TangaReef, that's two of us right now. Robert, who is a developer genius and who's good with the clicker as well. I'm Oliver, I'm focusing on the sales. And between the two of us, we have experience from large corporations and various startups, both in Finland and the US. We've been responsible for large-scale consumer websites, business development, partnerships. We're enthusiastic, we know something about diving, and we have great contacts in the dive industry. We started by selling TangaReef to dive centers, and after we signed up 15 of them, we decided this is worth doing it. So then we started to code. In addition, we began building partnerships with folks like the Coral Reef Alliance, and next week, we're going to meet with National Geographic in Washington, DC. The reason we're working with those guys is because TangaReef is not only for divers and dive centers, but it's also for the oceans, and we really want to save the oceans. So we are going to work with select nature conservancies, and we're going to donate part of our revenue to help them save the oceans if they achieve defined targets. For example, the number of reviews they manage to activate their divers to write on TangaReef for dive centers, or the bookings they get their databases full of divers to make with us. On the dive center side, we're going to scale to thousands of dive centers by working with the guys who are actually doing the real work at the dive centers. They work incredibly hard, very long hours, and they get very little money for it. 12 hours a day, that's just normal. 30 days a month, that's just normal. You think you have a tough job? Well, think about those guys. They get 600 euros a month, maybe. Now, guess what? Since we're making commissions from day one, we can pay these guys to help us sign up dive centers. We can offer to give them 5% of the revenue for the first year the dive centers they sign up with us make. If they're smart, they sign up a few of them. They'll make more money in less time, and they'll have more time to go what they really like, and that's diving. And we know we can get from 20 to 30% commission to 40 and 50 if we bring volumes of divers. And we're going to get there working with those select conservancies. We're having fantastic SEO already now because we're aggregating content from thousands and thousands of dive centers. And we're also working on tell-a-friend campaigns. So TangaReef is a great opportunity because the business model is clear, revenue potential from day one, and we're now looking for advisors and investors to help us accelerate our venture. If you think that's you, then please come and talk to us. And there's one thing, we don't have a demo on stage, but we got something way better. We're going to give all of you 5% discount of your first booking if you register today. Thank you.
So what's your favorite diving location yourself?
Don't
say you don't
Red
dive.
Sea.
Okay. Can you really get under? So salty.
Yeah, use lots of weight.
Yeah. All right, questions?
Nice job. So
Thank you.
you talked about a €1 billion market opportunity, and you get commissions of 20 to 30%. Historically, in other OTA businesses, those commissions have gone down over time. Hotels less so, air tremendously so. But even if you maintain the same commission level, you'd be looking at a 200 to 300 million euro revenue business if you had 100% market share. So what are the other logical areas you could go into to expand the business to really create a big company?
So as a platform, we could apply this to many different businesses and like kayaking and stuff like this, but we really want to focus on diving. Because the odd thing is, right now we're getting 20 to 30, but we have confirmed we will get to 40 and even 50% if we grow the volumes, and that's just like, that's insane. So we want to unlock that part of the market first, and when we have that done, we think about like other areas to expand into. But we want to keep the focus.
And do you have to provide a software so they can update availability and all the things that you would need to ensure that your customers can book effectively?
Yeah, that's correct. So for consumers, it's a website where they make the bookings. For the dive centers, it's kind of like a reservation system where they see who is booked when, how many are coming. It's not as difficult with hotels who have really strict capacity. You don't want to have people sleeping in the lobby. Dive centers, you can call in another boat, you can hire a couple of freelance guides, and you can handle the peaks as well.
I'm a diver, and I've been looking for something like this, but I do have one question. If you go diving with a cold, it's dangerous. So if I book my diving trip weeks in advance and then I'm all of a sudden sick, do I get a full refund?
Yeah, that's a great thing, because one of the things that are totally messed up right now is these dive centers, maybe they don't know better, maybe they're really not good businessmen. The cancellation policies, it's just not. You're kind of at the mercy of the dive center. So one thing we're doing now is we're standardizing these policies. So with us, you're gonna know you got your money back. We're hanging on to the money until you're happy, and we're gonna give it to the dive centers minus our commission when you're done. If you get sick, there's gonna be 2 weeks in advance, 1 week in advance, but it's all defined. It's the same by dive centers. It's comparable. And right now, comparing dive centers is worse than choosing your operator plan.
All right.
Trust me.
So where can we use the service? Is it live now?
We're going to launch this month, and you can register today, and that offer is valid for everybody in the room and all your friends, so go nuts, tweet about it, Facebook about it. 5% off your first dive trip. That savings is going to cover you for all the beer you're going to drink on that holiday.
Yeah, that's good, that's good.
I'm just so excited.
Yeah. All right, thank you, Oliver.